kind of like they did for Sensei.
Give them a movie.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what a lot of people want because they're keeping it on there. It's not like it's no longer on air. No one's going to care about it. People are going to find it still, and then like, oh, that fucking sucks. So that's how I feel about that. That's my news. You could have the rest of the delays.
Nice. There's just me left?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
To open it up, so in our past episode, which Chris actually joined us on as well, we covered Hocus Pocus for Diego's pick, and that film has returned to theaters and the drive-ins, and it's actually crushing at the box office, coming in at number 2 behind Tenet so far, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool, right?
In 20 years, right?
Yeah, it came out in, no, longer than that. It's 93.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, 99. Matrix is like 20 years.
Dang. It's crazy, right?
A long time.
We talked about Dune, which it's a bummer, but I think that in the end it's for the best because, you know, the films like that are meant to be witnessed with, at least in a theater atmosphere, like a packed house, you know what I mean? And we can't do that right now, so it makes sense that they would hold off on it. And it's just going to make the anticipation that much more, I think, for all of these movies.
And also, like, with delays, you know, you actually could go back and see what you may have done wrong or may not go with the film.
Yeah, longer editing processes. Yes. I know they were doing that with the Halloween. So, yeah, I mean, you got to look at the silver lining in all this.
That could also ruin movies.
Right? They're just like, this fucking sucks.
Pick it apart too much.
Yeah.
This whole thing sucks.
Well, then you might get multiple tracks later.
The fifth.
No.
I think that'd be good. Maybe they should just leave it as it is, crusty. Like how I like my movies.
Yeah, after this wreck, I agree with that statement.
And he's back. He's back.
Warner Brothers has officially moved Matrix 4 to December 2021.
Whoa.
Also makes sense because he's got John Wick was 4 coming out.
It's supposed to be the same weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were supposed to go. Yeah, it was a big thing. It was going to be back-to-back. Keanu. But that got fucked. The Batman has been pushed back from October 2021 to March 2022. Did you say that one?
I did see that one.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, that makes sense because of
production.
He got sick, and you know what happened, and they need time to make it to make it crispy. Right?
Didn't Dune took their place, right?
Yeah, I think that's why they push them back a whole year, is because they don't want to be, battling with Dune.
It's their own.
Even though Dune is
Like with their own company.
Yeah.
I feel like Dune is a huge risk. I think Villeneuve is a big enough director that he was able to do whatever he wants, but I think Dune is a huge... I hope people go to watch it.
If they ever want to do the trilogy,
yeah,
they want to. I just wish I knew what the goal is box office weekend, what they have to make for it. Because I remember when Green Lantern came out, they were going to do the Sinestro Wars as a sequel. Mm-hmm. And it needed to make $55 million opening weekend for Warner Brothers to greenlight it. It made 54.5. And they're like, nope. And they didn't greenlight it.
Wow.
Which I believe that series would have been better with the sequel because it would have been more in space.
Mm-hmm.
They would have hyped up Green Lantern more if they did it. You know?
So it's I just hate that. Like, I just think they need to take the fucking risk. Do all three, like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
I mean, to that, I would say yes, but I don't think Ryan Reynolds played a really good Hal Jordan.
No, I remember it was either him or Bradley Cooper as Hal Jordan. I wanted Bradley Cooper over
Bradley Cooper as Hal Jordan?
Yeah.
They were saying that fool should have been Kyle Reiner. They should have totally done a different lantern with him. Or something like that would have been more suitable.
Yeah, that is
true. But you know.
You know what I'm scared about is we haven't heard anything about Mortal Kombat, bro.
They're still filming it now, or is it done?
They finished a long time ago.
It's done.
Months before COVID happened.
Aren't the fatalities supposed to be like gruesome in the movie too?
Yeah, they're supposed to be insane. Yeah, one of the actors who was on there said like he had to walk away a few times because he almost threw up.
Oh, that's awesome.
That excites me, but it's like also like what are they just waiting or?
Oh, we get the original song back.
Just give me that. Just give me that.
The intro.
Yeah. Just a little bit somewhere, like if it's one of their ringtones, like Johnny Cage's ringtone, I'm happy.
My final piece of news: Regal Cinemas have decided to close their doors following the news of No Time to Die being pushed back once again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like they're closing for good?
I mean, no, I don't think it's for good, but I mean until whatever is cleared up or No Time to Die opens again, which is what, next October?
Why is Regal so concerned about Bond?
I don't know, but I think that was just like the breaking point for them, where they're like, no good movies are coming out. We're just like picking at straws.
Fuck it, 007 can't save us. Who can?
Yeah, they're hanging up their hats, and it's not just the U.S. It's I think all over, like
all over the place,
globally. Regal, starting this week, I think they're closing their doors again,
and I like Regal,
which is pretty sad. Yeah, they're great. They're great competition.
Like I said, new ones will pop up.
Yeah.
Especially since people aren't just going to the theater, I guess, because it's COVID. But like they just ain't going. No one's gonna go, even if they wanted to. So
and there's also no like good movies in there right now, except for Tenet.
Which is,
I wonder if it takes a lot to like run those movies. I bet so. They're probably like, fuck it. Like you got it sucks. Has anyone streamed new movies or just seen? We all been seeing them like in like the drive-ins.
I think the drive-ins are the only one really showing anything to the success.
I was about to say, like, why don't like big companies like AMC make a fucking drive-in for themselves and like let people go through or some shit?
I thought that they were doing that for the Westfield malls. They were showing movies outside. You come and you pay and you get to be in your car.
They're still not making what they need to make with those.
Well, yeah, because they're
concession.
Yeah,
that's where they make all their money anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like people bring pizzas into it to a drive-in.
Yeah, and you're just like,
yeah. So
yeah, it sucks, dude. It's hard out here for the movies right now.
It's hard everywhere. It just sucks because film is such an escapism for people when in situations like this, and you can't do it. Like it's just you can't escape for those 2 hours and take you a different world. I remember watching Shape of Water, and it literally took me out of the spot I was in. Like movie magic was there for 2 hours, and I walked out, and it was like the middle of the day when I watched it. So you walked out in the bright sun, and you're like, oh fuck, I'm back in reality. And that's what I really love about that movie. So it's like people can't experience that right now. You're not going to get that at home because your phone's right next to you.
Yep, and you're constantly just grabbing it, seeing what's going on, or somebody texting you, somebody doing something.
Someone's posting cool cat toys on Instagram and shit like that, you know?
Cheap plug.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
James, we'll kick it back to you.
Yo. Alright, so I've only watched one new movie this week. It is The Lodge.
Ooh. Yes.
Pretty interesting movie. I definitely recommend that one. If you like, I don't know, what is it? It's like a thriller, right?
It's definitely
it's
definitely psychological horror in the vein of Hereditary or Midsummer, or if you like those type of movies, it's kind of slower burn, very like open ended with a crazy twist. This is for you. It's
if you like those movies, definitely check that out. That's my only rec that I have this week. Haven't been watching too much stuff, been kind of busy.
Yeah.
So definitely check that one out.
I got a simple one. It's nothing new, but it's something I want to recommend to anyone that hasn't seen it out there. Probably I know we all seen this one, but it's Troy, dude. Troy.
Oh, nice.
That's my recommendation for this episode.
As in the Brad Pitt?
Yeah,
where Brad Pitt fucks up Achilles.
Fuck yeah, dude. That movie's fucking sick, dude. Yeah, dude.
Achilles is a badass, and he played him like a bitch. And then Orlando Bloom just shows he's a pussy behind every bow. Doesn't matter what film.
Oh, is Orlando Bloom?
He was the
prince.
the prince who stole Helena Troy.
Eric Bana is in that, right?
Yeah, he plays his older brother.
Yeah.
Hector.
He plays Hector.
I love that shit. Like, I love that all that myth and all
He screams
that.
like a little girl, but they fight all dramatic and shit.
And then, but like Achilles, he's supposed to be a badass, and Achilles' heel, that's where his weakness, because the goddess of war dipped him in the river of fire. That's why he was like invulnerable everywhere, but she held him by his ankle. That's why, that's his weak spot. And yet he gets shot in the ankle, and then that stops him. That should have made him fall off a cliff or something. Then they fucking nail him with 5 more bows. I'm just
before it runs out and shit, bleed out or something. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Like he became mortal or something. Like
I just wasn't happy with that character is so badass for me. Like, I love that character in the mythology.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think he had badass moments, but altogether the arc I wasn't too. He did a good job, but I just wasn't happy with the character.
He could have been better.
Yeah.
I think I just like the grand scale.
Yeah,
of
awesome.
It was pretty cool.
I agree. It's still a fun watch.
Yeah, it's very Hollywood.
Yeah. Before all the CG extras.
Right. Who's next?
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
No.
Actually, got to see 2 of Wesley's previous recs. I got to finish season 1 of Pen 15.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Super good.
Right.
Super brought so many memories.
You don't even know.
Yeah, the two ladies that play the 13-year-old are so they just make the show so much funny, so laughable, so relatable. It's just one of those shows that I've been telling my roommate, I've been telling my sister, I've been telling my brother, I've been telling my friend from work, and actually my friend from work was the one that was also telling me, he's like, man, that thong episode, it's just I remember girls in school just talking about the thongs. And sorry if I ruined it for somebody, but so go check that out on Hulu. And I just watch 3 from Hell, Rob Zombie's continuation of The Devil's Rejects. Super good movie.
Where did you watch that on? Was it
Shudder?
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 I've been wanting to
Streaming
watch that.
exclusively on Shudder. You could do a week free trial.
Yeah. And for some reason, I've always been skeptical about Rob Zombie because he's a hit and miss with me sometimes. But this movie really was made me be fuck, Rob Zombie's one badass director and shit.
Well, I like directors like that where they're a hit or miss with you because they're always trying for something.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to wreck this movie, but I'll wreck it later. The actors in it is Kevin Costner as a director. Keep crunching. He he won an Oscar. I don't think it was for directing. I think it was for screenwriting or something for Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
And then he starts making. He made Waterworld, which bombed. Postman bombed. But he made movies he wanted to make. He turned down Air Force One to make Waterworld. And he said, hey, go give Harrison a call. I think he'd be perfect for this. So he kind of recommended Indiana Jones to be the president, which is fucking awesome. But so that he could do Waterworld. So I like directors.
What was that?
Who's watching OnlyFans?
bro.
Somebody just put.
So I think that's it's fun being a fan of those directors because you're going to see something, you might not be a fan of it, but you know that they're doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
And you don't get many of those anymore because studios have such control over it.
Yeah, and then I love his amount of respect for the Mexican culture in this one. I thought it was very well done. I thought Zombie's always had, even in his albums, has had dialogue bites from Mexican movies. So I respect him a lot for that. And then and it's funny because I was telling Wesley, I was like, he humanized